Hello and welcome to my podcast. This is episode 1 of a series. Do I know what this podcast is going to be, or the series is going to be? No. But we're just going to go with, one episode at a time and just kind of see how it goes. I apologize for it coming out so late. I was supposed to do it last week. I just couldn't really find a topic or really a time to do it. I tried getting a couple people in on it as well, but I couldn't really get anyone, so here we are almost 2 weeks later. But I really wanted to try and get this out before Mother's Day, because I didn't want to do all this during Mother's Day. So it's episode 1, and I think what I want to talk about is just just life in general. I feel like so many times, we just be like looking at life the wrong way. Like so many times we always got like these really crooked perspectives on such simple things. And like, if there's something that I've learned the past couple days, bro, it's, above all things, the number one thing that God's called us to do is just to love one another. And, it's really been on my heart. Like, it's something that I feel like I don't do enough. And, in my life, I'm a person that believes, I have a relationship with God, but yet, I don't even follow his one commandment. So like, how can I say that like I got a relationship with him if I'm constantly living a life where like I'm not doing what he's told me to do? Like, how can I, like, it's like saying like this, right? Like, how can you say you're in a relationship with somebody if you don't really love them? You say you do, but you don't even do anything about it. It's like, even with your friends, you say that you're my friend, but you don't act like a friend. And that's kind of like what I'm doing with my relationship with God, in a sense, right? And that's not right. Like, that ain't right, bro. Man, it just really opened my eyes in a way. Like, even when you're going through the hardest of times, you're going through, whatever it may be in your life, somehow there's always a way to look at something differently and just learn, and you can just love, and it just makes it easier. But it's hard at the same time because you're denying your own human nature. I feel like, this is my opinion, like, our human nature is very selfish. We want, like, we are our own gods in a way, what I'm saying? Like, we look at ourselves like, we're so hurt, we need to be served, and we can't serve anyone else. And that's why a lot of times we stray further from God, or we'll stray into places that maybe we never even wanted to be in, because we just deny God. We deny kind of like the spirit in a way, because we're so caught up in this mentality that like we're the ones that need to be pleased, when really, like, the only thing that's asked of us and expected of us to do is just to serve one another, to love each other. I don't want to get too personal and open up too much, but that's something I've really realized. So many times, like, we want God to bless us, but yeah, we won't even follow his number one commandment. Like, how do we expect God to bless us if we're not even gonna go and love the person next to us? Like, we're not even loving the people around us. So how do you expect God to love you if you don't want to, love the people around you? If those were the last 2 people on earth and there was no one else in this world but those 2 people, God will still love them with everything that he had. That's God's love for us. That no matter what it is, his number one commandment is just to love. You know, it's helped me honestly. You know, whenever I start to stray off a little bit, you know, it's a constant reminder. It's like, am I even following like that number one like commandment? Am I, you know, doing what God asked me to do? You know, sometimes I feel like we forget the most simple and basic things. And we kind of just, you know, have our own perspective on it, have our own narrative. You know, we try to think for God. You know, maybe, you know, like me included. Like sometimes I run into that problem where, you know, I've been honestly reading the Bible a whole lot more lately. And I've noticed there's a lot of people that twist like what it's saying. Like, but if you actually go read it yourself, it's actually really interesting about like what it says. And like the meanings and things. Like people they don't read the full thing. They just take what they want. And they try to like apply it to what they're trying to talk about versus it just being like what God is trying to say. It's like they're trying to speak for him. It's like, don't speak for him. It's like, try and understand what God is trying to tell you in his Bible. You know? Sure, you can interpret it, but like, you shouldn't stray off what he's trying to tell you in that verse, in the passage and things. That's just crazy to me, honestly. You know, so many times, like even just in our relationships, you know, friendships, families, you know, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, you know, love really does overcome. I mean, I even got it on a shirt. You know, I used to make a bunch of shirt designs. I kind of stopped doing it. Like, I still have the store up, but like I stopped making shirt designs because I don't know, I just got to a point where like I ran out of ideas for it. I still really like it. I'm sure if I get another idea, I'll probably make another shirt, but a lot of those designs that I made have a lot of meanings behind them. You know, if you go and look at my channel, a lot of the videos that I make actually have a lot of depth. Some don't, some are funny, but some do. I think the number one video that I could highlight was my Sakuna series. Well, not video, but series. Where I really broke down and kind of like painted a story and like Sakuna's character. Like, that's the kind of thing I like doing. It's like painting pictures, having a lot of like meanings and things. And I wanted to like paint a story. That's kind of like with the shirts. You know, it's me trying to go and with something simple have a bunch of meanings and things behind it. I feel like that's the whole point of art in a way. Like, how can you try and, you know, take these feelings, meanings, things, and like put it on a canvas, put it on a shirt. And it's like, what message can you portray? That's how I look at it, at least. I think it's kind of cool. Because, I mean, dude, in the simplest, you know, design or shirt, dude, you could literally make so many different meanings and things that people just goes over their head. It's honestly kind of crazy. You know, like, by just using simple symbolism and words and things, like, you can portray so many messages and meanings and things off just like the most simplest designs, really. And that kind of takes me into my next topic. You know, I feel like people nowadays need to be just careful with what they consume, though. Man, nowadays, man, like, I'm just trying to go through my phone. I'm just seeing all this nonsense, you know? That's why I don't really like being on social media. I think the only time I'm like really on any type of social media is when I'm just like uploading a little short, or nah, I'm on YouTube a good bit. I can't lie to you. I like watching YouTube. But like any of the other social medias, I don't like it. Just like I can't be bothered, bro. Just like nowadays, bro, it's I don't even want to get into it. It's just you be seeing so much stuff. You be seeing just I really think to myself, like do y'all think about like what you're posting? Like where was the whole thing of like, dignity and having self-respect? You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad in a way that people, feel the need to portray themselves in such a way because they feel like that's the only way that they can, make a living, make money. That they gotta sacrifice their own dignity and morals just to make a living. Like, I genuinely feel sorry for those people. Like, I really do. That's the kind of world we live in, man. It sucks that people feel the need to do that just to just to make a living. I feel like deep down, and this is my opinion again, like I feel like deep down in their heart, bro, like they don't even want to be doing that. Like y'all cannot convince me deep down in themselves they really hate what they're doing, but they feel like it's the only way to make money. Like genuinely. I really hope that, they can find a different path and they can change or something, man. 'Cause, man, no one should have to do that just to make a couple dollars. Nobody, bro. Like, it's sad. It really is. But man, like, I just want to open my phone. That's all I see on my phone, man. And it's becoming so much more like mainstream. It's like just everywhere, dude. I feel bad for our younger generations, because it's something I'm thinking about, like kids and things, because like I'm looking to get married pretty soon here. Okay, well, not really like quote unquote soon, but like something that we're looking to do at some point. Whether that be a year or 2 years, takes time. Any of my older audience, y'all know how that goes. It takes time, and I just feel bad for my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm scared in a way, because I mean, dude, the way that everything's going, you can't even open your phone and look at just anything really without it just being everywhere. People just portraying themselves in such ways. Or even like, the younger people, you try to go to these schools, bro, you hear them kids? Buddy, bro. When I was younger, okay, when a kid would cuss, like, that was an issue, okay? Like, it was a big problem. Like, who is your parents? Nowadays, they got, like, the whole Sailor's Dictionary on them at Sky Zone. I'm like, how did you even learn half those words? You're, like, 6 years old. like, bro, who taught you that? And that's the kind of generation that, like my kids are gonna be a part of. Like, it worries me, man. Like oh no. Even more reason for me, I gotta keep God close, man. I gotta start praying like, Lord, I should protect my kids. I don't want my kids, going and getting a part of all of that. Oh no. No, I don't. Like, Lord, protect my kids, please. But man, I'll probably just end it here, to be honest with you. I know it's short podcast, normally like an hour long or things like that, but it's just something that I kind of wanted to try out, see what happens with. And if you guys like this kind of thing, then I'll do more podcasts. I'll try and get guests. I've asked a couple people. It'd be kind of cool if I can get one of the people on. But yeah, if you guys like this kind of thing, let me know. Like, share it, etc. Like I've always said, best way you can support me is actually by dropping a sub on my Twitch. It allows me to be able to continue to make content and things for you guys. At the end of the day, sadly, I can't live for free. And, it'll really help me out. Obviously, you don't have to. Not at all. But it really does help out. And, if you're feeling generous, that's cool. I'd appreciate it. But you don't need to at all. By you just being here watching, that's all I can ask for. And I thank you for that. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Hope you have a nice day. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.